What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Jake here, and in this video I want to talk about my Artillery Sidewinder X1. Let's get started with the unboxing, and then I'll show some prints and also talk about some of the main factors that influence my purchase and what you also might want to consider. This printer retails for around $430 on Amazon and $399 on Banggood. In my case, shipping only took a few days, and I was impressed with the protective packaging it had. The assembly was pretty easy. The instructions could have been better, but it was still straightforward enough to get it up and running in less than an hour. Overall, I think this printer is one of the best bang for the buck printers out there, and includes some really great features and quality parts, such as the large build plate, which is 300mm by 300mm by 400mm tall, so it can print full-size helmets or other large models if that's what you need. Included with the printer is everything you need to get started, including a USB stick, tools, and replacement parts. The printer is controlled by a touchscreen and is really intuitive. However, I have had a few issues with it, and I will explain them a little later. From my experience, the heat up times of the bed and the extruder are both really fast. A few other nice features are the power loss recovery, which successfully worked for me when I tested it, and the filament runout sensor that beeps if filament is not being fed through it. The quiet stepper motors are also pretty nice because they stay relatively quiet while running. The Sidewinder also uses a direct drive extrusion, so that means the filament is heated up closer to the nozzle rather than preheated and then pushed through a tube on a Bowden style. Of course, having a lot of great features is a huge positive for buying this machine, but another is the user base. The Facebook group for artillery printer owners is very helpful for people of all skill levels. I'd also like to mention the importance of choosing a good slicer software, which changes your 3D model into layers that can be printed. I use Cure the most, which has a pre-made artillery profile. I think it's a good program, and I've gotten pretty comfortable tweaking my designs to ensure my final print comes out the way I want. Something I do to minimize time and waste is print smaller portions of a new design. The smaller print allows me more freedom in quickly doing design changes and making sure my final print has a better chance of success. Something else I want to touch on is the upgradability. This machine is very upgradable, like using Octoprint for those popular time lapses or remote printing, or adding BL Touch for automatic bed leveling. If you spend any time on the Facebook page, you'll see that some people do way more to this machine than just that. So I recommend checking out the Artillery Facebook group or other YouTube videos for more content if you're curious. Before I show off lots of my successful prints, I have had two minor issues I want to talk about. The white screen happened during a print when I touched the screen. I think it might have shorted out due to static charge, but I'm really not sure. I usually use a stylus now and haven't had a problem for a couple months. I've also had a bad nozzle clog, which I think was the filament's fault. The nozzle clog popped the silicone sock off, but after heating up, I was able to pull the plastic out and just reinstall it. Almost all of my prints on this machine are functional designs, and looking perfect is not always the top priority. But for my variety of prints, I think the layer lines are really consistent, and it has printed several colors of PLA really well. I've used PLA for Matter Hacker's Build Series and Pro Series, and everything has come out really smooth. In the future, I might try PETG or TPU, but for now, PLA works great in the machine and does what I need it to do. So far, I've used this machine to print mainly small to medium parts. I think the level of detail is pretty good on all of my prints with letters, and depending on slicing settings, I've gotten some very strong parts. Lots of these next prints have also been used in other videos, so please subscribe and check out some of my other videos too. I printed these extension cord hooks to mount on my Milwaukee Packout toolboxes. Something that's pretty awesome about 3D printing is being able to fix something that can't be made almost any other way. I modeled up this broken yellow latch and printed 2 red replacements, and it works great now. The parts I have here are printed with slightly different cura settings. If you don't want to see the infill pattern, I recommend using at least 3 walls. These parts with 3 walls are strong and look really smooth. This print is a 2-piece wall-mounted storage hook for my Milwaukee searchlight. Some interesting prints I did were these pulleys. The wheel spins on a bolt and they work pretty good, but I don't know if I could recommend them for anything heavier than, say, 20 pounds. So after almost 4 months of using this printer and hundreds of hours printing and resulting in dozens of successful projects, I really recommend purchasing this printer. As you can see, all of my prints have turned out very functional. Using this printer has helped me improve my design skills, and I'm glad it's now part of my toolbox. I think anyone who is considering buying a 3D printer will be really happy with the Artillery Sidewinder X1 because of its low price and ease of use. Thanks for watching my video. Please hit like and subscribe if this review was useful to you. And please comment if you have any thoughts about this printer or ideas on what you think I should print next. Thanks again for watching. See you later.